much, David, for having me here. As always, so much fun. I can't believe we're in a new Thanksgiving. I feel like Thanksgiving was, a few months ago. This year is just too fast. How is everybody doing? I see that we have a really full room today. This is very cool. I'm very excited to be here with you guys. Let me just organize. So I have a confession to make. We just moved into a new apartment and they were supposed to put in internet. So for me, I am in Barcelona. I live in Barcelona, so it's 5 p.m. That's why for me it's been a whole day. They promised to be here between 8 and 12 in the morning. It's 5 p.m. and we still don't have internet. So I am using my datos or my hotspot just in case. I might it sometimes it gets a little bit flaky, and if you lose me, that is the reason why. I will be back as soon as, my datos come back. But just wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up. You guys know how it is with, you know, them coming to do your internet and giving you a time frame, which you kind of just sit around do nothing, waiting for them all day. Anyhow, let's begin. So I am Marina, the Trader Chick. And before we go into anything, remember everything we talk about is education only. All right, guys. And that is important for each and every single person that we have been here with. And I wanted to say, this is me. This is Marina, the Trader Chick. And I want to talk to you guys today about I want to get back to understanding a lot of what we are doing. A lot of times I actually see pretty much, I'd say 95% of people that are interested in becoming day traders or investing, even like short-term investing, they just have some money that they made or they, I don't know, got some cash and all of a sudden are just throwing it into the market without knowing anything about it. It's kind of like sitting in a car and without ever having a lesson of how to turn the car on or anything, you just mess around and somehow manage to maybe turn it on and go. There is no barrier to entry in the financial world. And the minute you actually learn a little bit, that will put everybody in the bracket much higher than people that are literally just throwing their money at the market, or I like to say donating their money to the markets. So today, I want to talk about is getting that foundation, fully understanding that alone is going to completely, I, I, I don't want to say, guarantee profits, but it will completely take you up to the next level and without a doubt, make you understand and see where are the better profit entries, how to also minimize your risk, and just so many more things. And what's cool about it is that it's really simple. A lot of times I think we avoid things because we think it's going to be difficult, but it's not. And on top of that, it is going to be fun. So before I jump into the actual presentation, I want to just do a quick intro because another thing that I have noticed a lot of times with people who are learning how to trade, who are sitting in front of their charts, that they forget that they are people, right? We bring ourselves, us who we are, into the charts, right? And that usually is who we are as people. We bring our life stories to the charts, however that could be. And it's really important to embrace that and understand it, because once you get to start to look at that chart and be like, oh yeah, I look at it because of like this, because of this experience or that, those filters that we put in. Everybody has different filters. So I want to do a quick intro. This is me. I am Marina, the Trader Chick, and I am an expat living in Barcelona. I've actually been an expat for over 20 years now, almost 22 years. Before moving to Barcelona, we lived in Central America, Costa Rica, and Guatemala for almost 20 years. So now we are living here. As you can see, I am very international. For us, my family and I, we travel a lot, we move a lot, and it was such an important part of the fiber of who we are. Before I was a day trader, I was a fitness instructor. And the reason why I bring this up is because a lot of people have this misconception that you need to be a math person or you need to have an economics background, a financial background. even a software or engineer sort of a background, but it's not true. That's the beauty of day trading, is that anybody from any walk of life can be successful at it, right? So I literally was a fitness instructor. So that is really, really interesting. And we can work from anywhere in the world. So day trading is such an important part for me because I am able to live my lifestyle. Me and my family, we travel 3 to 4 months out of the year. So I can't just stop working, right? I mean, I'm not that wealthy. It'd be great and fun, but I also enjoy to, do the markets and have my computer with me. So that's the thing with trading, is that we could go anywhere and I could always bring my computer with me. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Camino de Santiago. It's a really popular, famous pilgrimage that is done in northern Spain, and what is a pilgrimage that brings you to Santiago de Compostela. I actually did it this past summer. I took 7 weeks and I walked 800 kilometers and biked 350 kilometers. So I was, every night was a new hotel, a new place, and I was able to still take my computer and still open up to the markets. So that's the beauty of day trading. So, what in the world is day trading? And why is it not investing? A lot of times people, when they hear that I'm a trader and that I love the financial markets, they come up to me, especially that I'm a trader. They're like, "Oh, I want to learn how to invest." And I always let them know, I'm like, us day traders, we trade to invest. Why is that a difference? So with day trading, it is literally day trading, right? You're in and out of positions. So unlike day trading, though, I'm sorry, unlike investing, with day trading, we do not want to diversify. I know that a lot of the experts that speak here, they do multiple markets, but they have also been doing this for years and years. The majority, I would probably say almost all of them, started with one market in the beginning. Okay. Simply because you need to master what you are learning. So in the financial markets, that's actually called instruments, right? Interestingly enough, markets are instruments. And imagine your child comes up to you and they say to you, "Hey, Mama, Papa, I want to learn how to play a musical instrument." And you get all excited. You're like, "Great. What do you want to play? You want to play the violin? What do you want to learn to play? You want to play the violin, the piano, the saxophone, the drums?" And they answer to you, "Well, I would love to play all of them. And also, I would like to put in a harp and maybe learn how to sing." And you look at them and you're like, you can't learn all of them because they're so different, right? But let's focus on the one. And when you learn that one, that is when you can truly master. And here's the thing, guys. A lot of times, once you have mastered, do you even want to go on and do other markets or other instruments? So we all know who Liberace is, right? Love him, hate him. I don't care how you think of him. The reality is he was a master pianist, right? He was absolutely brilliant on the piano. I guarantee you, if he was given a guitar or if he was given drums, he probably would be pretty good at it, right? Because he's simply musically inclined. Yet he stuck to his one thing. So when you guys begin, I really recommend, or if you are already doing and you are trying to do multiple instruments, multiple markets, what is your success rate? Chances are it's pretty low simply because you are trying to do too much without really mastering that one. So this is something that I truly recommend, and that is a massive difference with day trading and investing. Because with investing, you want to have a diversified portfolio. But with day trading, because we are so hyper focused on that one, it's really important to focus on that one instrument. The other thing with investors versus day traders is that they truly care about the companies that they invest in, right? And they want to see them grow. For example, if you want to, if you've invested in Apple, you really care about their next phone or their next Apple TV, or, they want to do an Apple car or whatever, right? So you are willing to sit through the highs and the lows because overall you believe in this company, you know that it's going to grow. Day trading, we don't care if there's going to be a phone. We just care what is in front of us right now with a technical analysis. And if Apple is going down that day, super. If the technical analysis is telling us to short it, then that's what we're doing. If it's telling us to go long, even better. The point is, we don't care about the long term. We only focus on what's in front of us. And again, like I said earlier, it doesn't matter if the market's going up or down. We can make money regardless. That's the beauty of it all. All right, let's bust some myths. So, what are myths around day trading? This was something that I have seen, first of all, with myself and also the majority of my students, is that they have these misconceptions, these myths, these lies that they believe to be true without actually doing any investigating into them. And why does that matter? Is because it has kept them from succeeding. So, I want to break a lot of these myths with you guys today. First and foremost, that it's gambling and it's too risky. Why do people say that? So let me give you another example. Imagine you want to learn how to fly a plane, right? You want to be a pilot. So does that mean that the next day you're going to take your entire family, hop in a plane, somehow miraculously take off and go flying? Absolutely not. That is like a kamikaze mission, right? Like that is just a suicide mission. Why? Because you have absolutely no idea how to work the plane. You have no idea how to land. You have no idea how to do anything, right? It is the exact same thing with trading. You first need to learn the basics. You have to understand the platforms. You have to understand the instruments. You have to understand what the charts are doing. There's all of these things. So it's completely understandable for if somebody wants to be a pilot that they first go through pilot school and then they do simulation hours, but yet people completely overlook at that step when they have some money to put into the financial markets. Am I correct? So that makes it gambling. That's why it's too risky. Okay. The other thing is that you need $25,000 to get started. No, you do not. That is so old school. You do not need to get $25,000. As a matter of fact, you can have a tiny account today. Where did this misconception come from? Interestingly enough, it was never the truth. The only reason why people thought it was the truth is because brokers would not give you a margin account if you did not have $25,000. What is a margin account? I'm going to get into it a lot more, but right now, the way I look at it is loan sharking, right? It's horrible. You never ever will need a margin account. So don't worry. You can literally start with $100, $500. You do not need a large account. And like I mentioned earlier, math whiz. You do not need to be a math whiz. I don't ever look at math. If the only time I might really think of numbers is when I'm checking out my profits and my losses, and even that I can use a calculator for, right? You do not need to worry about that at all, and that it's stressful and chaotic. This to me is the biggest misconception because I guess Hollywood has made it so. Maybe 25 years ago, when we still had the stock exchange and the whole chaos of all those monitors. But let me tell you guys, this scenario is so incredibly unsustainable. It is super unsustainable. Nobody, you cannot continue this, right? The human brain is not meant to look at this many charts at the same time. You just won't. You'll go into too much analysis paralysis and you'll just burn out within probably less than a year. Okay. And the other thing, the other massive misconception is that you need to be constantly updating your softwares, your indicators, your algorithms. No, you don't. Once you get a good platform, and everybody needs a strong charting platform, everybody, because without that, you cannot do anything at all. Once you have a good, strong platform, they all come with universal indicators. And we're talking hundreds of universal indicators, right? Algorithms, if anybody's selling you an algorithm, that is the only way they're making money. No algorithm has ever worked. And that is actually a fact. And I really recommend staying away from that. Don't go. It's called the new shiny, what is that? New shiny syndrome, object syndrome, or something like that, right? You don't need any of it. Platforms have universal indicators, so you don't have to worry. The other thing is, I cannot even tell you the amount of people that they're like, I wake up at 4 in the morning and I'm doing all this research, and then it's at 9 a.m. I am ready to go. Or if they live on the East Coast, West Coast, wherever they are, I'm ready to go. And then they're in the market all day. Majority of the time, nothing that they learned in the news is going to be happening, because the news is completely manipulated by pet people who want to move the market into their own agenda. And then afterwards, they are watching again. So by the time, the day ends, they are completely burnt out. They have learned absolutely nothing from the news. They get all angry about the news. And the reality is, you buy the rumor, you sell them the news. You just, you don't need the news at all. You do not need to do that. Why? Because professional traders, it's all about the technical analysis. That means you look at the chart in front of you. You see what the chart is telling you right there. All right. It's kind of like when you go to the hospital and the doctor is about to do a surgery on somebody, right? Yeah, it's important to know the history of a person, maybe during the office visit, but when it's time for surgery, they don't care what happened to them 2 years ago. They don't care about the history. They care about the vital signs right there in front of you. And that is literally the exact same thing with the markets. The technical analysis is your vitals. That is what you need to know. And you do not need to know about the research. You do not need to hear the news. Okay. And this is a biggie, guys. This one is a biggie. The trigger happiness. This is a thing. Oh my gosh, this was my thing when I first started. I cannot even tell you, within a 2 hour session, I would take like up to 40 trades. 40 trades. I mean, it didn't even matter if I, profited or on any of them, because I was completely out from the commissions alone. Look, guys, I want to, day traders are like big game hunters, right? I'm not condoning hunting, but it is like big game hunting. Why? Because if you think of a hunter, they get out there and they are waiting for that big game, right? They're patient, they have discipline, because if they're going to shoot every single prairie dog or field mouse that's going to run through, by the time that the big game actually comes out, they might be out of bullets and they're probably out of energy, right? Because they do need to exert energy on aiming. That's what professional traders are. They take maybe 1 to 3 trades for the day, but those trades are those big gains, right? Like they are the big profits. That is what you have to do. And I know the majority of people have gone through this. What I actually do with a lot of my students is I do a challenge after they have learned the system, their own system, their strategy is 1 month of only taking 1 trade per day. And after that challenge, the amount of my students have come back to me and said, you cannot even understand the amount of crap trades I stopped taking because I filtered them out. And it actually really works. Okay. I always say the most radical way to trade is conservatively. Being a conservative trader is sustainable, right? Aggressive behavior does not work. Yeah, it's beautiful and romantic to watch other people talk about their humongous wins. Well, how come they don't tell us about their humongous losses? And guess what? It happens a lot. All right, guys, small profits daily bring big profits yearly. What does that mean? It means consistency. We are not here for the big one-off, because the problem with the big one-offs is it usually is never one-off, right? Because of that one big win, we get tempted to do it again, and that's when it leads to a massive loss. But if we are consistent, strategic, guess what? That's when we truly make real money. All right. This is a term I coined myself, but it is a term that everybody can understand, right? FOMAT. You probably have heard of FOMO, fear of missing out. FOMAT, fear of missing a trade. This is another real thing. Look, imagine you guys go to a beach, you want to surf, right? And you arrive to the beach, and all of a sudden there's this amazing wave. Are you going to just hop on your surfboard and get out there to catch that wave? No. Why? Because you know there's going to be 100 other waves coming, right? Same thing here, guys. The trades, they never stop coming. They never stop coming. Chasing a trade is absolutely the worst thing you could do because you become emotional. Once you finally caught that trade, it chances are it's going to turn on you because it's already too late. You're going to end up losing money, and that leads to revenge trading, losing you even more money, right? Who's been there? I know I've been there many times. Stop with the chasing. There is always another trade coming. All right. So back to what I began in the beginning, focusing on the instruments, right? Which market do you want to trade? You cannot trade many or even many different instruments. Why? Because it's literally like getting into several different cars on different terrains and thinking that you're going to be able to drive them all together. Absolutely ludicrous. That is not at all how it's going to happen, right? So, what to trade? I really recommend that you find the market that you feel the most aligned with, right? Because sometimes, like for instance, me in options, I just have no interest in options, but I really enjoy futures. I really enjoy some big equities, you know. So it depends on you, the person, but first you need to know which market to trade. And this is also going to be very important when I talk to you guys about brokers. So put a pin in that because I am going to get to that in a few minutes. All right. So, what markets are there? Forex. We all know about Forex, right? The foreign exchange market is when you're taking two different pairs and putting them next to one another and figuring out which works best, right? The thing is, you don't want to go with too many pairs. Maybe pick one or two at the most because, again, it becomes too many things going on at once, right? So, again, you want to be able to find the ones that you really resonate with and that you're going to be interested in following. Equities, like I mentioned earlier, equities are huge. So, whenever I ask people, hey, what do you trade? And they tell me equities, I'm like, yeah, that means you're not really doing well. Why is that? Because a true trader who does trade equities is incredibly specific, right? Because there's over 5,000 equities in the US market alone, right? Over 5,000 equities in the US market alone. And so what we could do is sectors. For instance, maybe just a technology sector, entertainment, pharmaceuticals, or you could go into the big caps, the small caps, or just like the actual, maybe Amazon, maybe like what are they called? I forgot, like the four biggest ones, right? Tesla, Facebook, Meta, Microsoft, like you could just focus on those because Apple, because they are very high volatility stocks, right? So you are able to truly enjoy those and then really master them as well. Futures. Another one. When I ask people what they trade and they're telling me futures, I know for a fact that they are not doing well. Again, why? Because again, the commodities market, the futures market is so diverse. Okay, so if you're telling me your futures, that means you're trading wheat, you're trading the E-minis, you're trading the Russell, you're trading corn, crude. All of those markets that I just mentioned within the futures umbrella are so remarkably different and they move so differently that you cannot possibly do well, right? Pick the one. I personally love the E-minis, which is the S&P 500 and the futures. I love it. Why? Because it is super volatile. The volume is always high. It is an old market, a market that's been around for a long time. So it's also one of the highest traded markets. So that makes it really less erratic than others, right? That is what we want to focus on. What has momentum, what has flow. Options. Like I mentioned earlier, I personally am not an options fan simply because for me they're a little bit complicated to understand, but you might love them. Great. Stick to it and really learn those. And crypto. Of course, right now, crypto is the hype, right? Bitcoin has been completely out of control. The thing is, guys, tomorrow Bitcoin, if it falls, it could fall 50,000, right? Versus the 20,000 that it raises. So, and also cryptocurrency, the crypto market, there's 6,000 altcoins and projects. You cannot think that Bitcoin is the one and only, right? There are many. So you need to understand that and you need to see which ones you like the most. I personally think that crypto is great. What I do not ever recommend in crypto is leveraging. If you don't know what leveraging is, don't even bother learning. But what it really is that you are borrowing money. Again, I'm going to get to that. It's kind of like a margin account with a crypto. So I have seen crypto go, up really high and then down within 30 seconds, 5 times more, completely stopping people out. Like they end up losing everything because they were leveraged, right? So you always want to just have the amount that you are willing to risk. All right. I want to really demystify brokers and margin accounts because this kills so many people. This truly kills so many people's accounts. Why? First and foremost, if you don't know what market you're trading, how are you able to pick a broker? I get that all the time, right? Oh, okay, I want to trade. Which broker should I go with? I'm like, well, what do you want to trade? Or I've already opened up a brokerage account and they've opened an account with an equities broker, but their interest is in futures. I'm like, that broker is not going to do you any good because you can't bring a diesel car to a gas station that only has gas and put gas in. It will destroy the car, right? So an equities broker, if they say they do futures, will give you the absolute worst commissions and probably the feed will really be bad because that's not their specialty. So you need to know what you are trading before you get a broker. That is so important. Now, let's talk about margin accounts. Brokers put this margin account in a really fancy way, as if though it is a perk, a benefit. What they're literally telling you is, we will lend you money against your account. They are loan sharking because it does not matter if you take that money, that margin, and you put it into buying new, whatever it is, positions. And if you end up losing, guess what? They don't care. Now you have to pay them back the money you lost and interest on top of that. You do not need a margin account. Stay away from the margin accounts. Stay away. It is not obligatory and it is definitely not mandatory. Brokers are the only thing that brokers think about is how they could earn money and commissions. They do not care about your expertise. And if they can get you any way they can, they will. So you have the right, the responsibility to make the right decisions. Find the right broker that works with the specific market you are with and do not go for the margin account. Don't borrow. There's no reason for you to borrow and put even more risk at hand. Okay, understanding the commissions and the fee. Why is this important? Because if you want to trade crypto and you are with an equities broker, oh my God, the amount of money that you are going to be losing from commissions and a really bad feed. You might not even get it in real time because the equities broker is not equipped for it yet. There are amazing crypto exchanges that you can use. And that's where so you need to be really specific. Then you pay the least amount of commission and your feed is also the most up to date. And like I mentioned earlier, platforms. Guys, you need a platform. You cannot be driving in a Formula One race in a minivan. Okay. If you want to be a true trader, you have to find a really strong platform. And today there are so many really powerful, great platforms, and some of them are free. When I began 12 years ago, actually almost 13 years ago, when this time flies, there was only four. There's only four. Today, I think there's like 20. And some of them are incredibly powerful and incredibly good. And if you guys have any questions or you don't know, I am happy to help you because I've already seen them all come alive since my time trading. Okay, just saying there are really great platforms out there, but you need it. Okay, look, Everything we do in life, no matter what we do, if we're surfers, if we're pilots, if we're traders, if we're doctors, there is certain lingos that go with each world kind of a thing, right? It's a normal thing. I am always amazed the lack of lingo that people are learning when they are putting their hard-earned money into the markets. It blows my mind that they do not even understand the basics. So today we're going to do a mini crash course with the lingo. And I promise you, after even just these few words, you will be able to understand so much better what is happening with the market. First and foremost, intraday trading. Intraday trading, day trading. You are literally in and out of your positions within the same day. Why is that so important? Because if you are day trading, that means your chart will be your chart time will be 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. But if you are swing trading, you don't want to be looking at a 1 minute chart. What is swing trading? It's holding for one night or up to whatever, 3 or 4 months. It's short-term trade, it's longer-term trading. That case, you are looking at a day chart or even a week chart. Knowing the time that you have to be looking at is crucial. Otherwise, you will not be making the right decision. Bull market, literally just the market going up. Bear market, market going down. And what's really important is that there are three trends. There are three trends. A lot of people think that there's only really two, the up and the down, but the one that actually makes you lose the most amount of money is the sideways trend. Why? Because this is indecision zone and people are putting their money into an area that has absolutely no movement. Okay. You need to understand that. Now, let's talk about profit target and risk management because we keep on hearing about this risk management, right? We know that we need to put in a risk, but a lot of people forget how important it is to have a profit target. What does that mean? So, trading is an incredibly hyped up emotional activity. So, if you put in a profit target, you are telling the market, this is the profit I want to take. What happens a lot is that people remove that profit target or they don't because they think that they're going to be able to get out in time, but then greed sneaks in and they end up losing everything because they're like, oh no, I could go a little bit more, I could go a little bit more. By the time that you where your profit was, you would have been profited and probably had money in the bank. Boom, now it's completely turned on you and has either stopped you out because you did have a risk management, or you could have the mental stop, which is an epidemic with the majority of the people. What is a mental stop? It is pretending that you have a stop and that you are going to get out when you need to. It's literally like saying you're going to get into a car and put on a mental seatbelt on your baby. And if there's an accident, you'll save them with your arm. That is literally what that is. You need to have a risk management. You need to tell the market, this is all I'm willing to risk. And I don't care if I lose it. I'm okay with it. You need to have that solidified. And the same thing goes for the profit target. And again, charts, I'm going to say this over and over again. Why? Because the majority of people on their rinky-dink phone apps trying to trade, you're not going to get very far. And like I mentioned earlier, platforms, they come with universal indicators. You don't need to spend money on it. I personally am now down to two indicators. Two indicators. That's all I use because you don't need a lot. But what you do need is the indicators that you personally align with. I had at one point 10 indicators, no joke, 10 indicators and three charts. I was in constant analysis paralysis because I was listening to this guru, this mentor. They were telling me Bollinger Bands or Fibonacci's or Kettler Bands and all these others that might work for them. But when I removed them, it was the greatest feeling. They never worked for me. You need to find the ones that work for you. Okay. And again, trending markets. Remember, sideways markets, this is where the majority of the money is usually lost. All right. Let's talk about buying and selling because if you're not sure what you're doing, how are you going to make money? So what is a buy? Buying or going long those are the two ways you could say this, is when you are entering at a low price point, exiting at a higher price point, and you take the money, profit in between. Selling or going short. It is when the market is going down, you're entering high, exiting low, and you're taking the profit in between. This is when they say, I'm shorting the market or I am selling. This is what it looks like. All right. And you need to know, because if you're selling or going short, that means you are entering at a high price point and you want to get out at a lower price point. All right. So the other thing is market entry versus limit order. So when you are doing a market entry, basically what a market entry is, you're seeing that the market is going in one direction. You're like, oh, this is it. This is great. I'm going in. Basically, you have no strategy and you're literally telling the market, I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm just kind of winging it, right? So the market knows that and it punishes you in two ways. One, they know that if you're doing market entry, you're a total amateur. Two, the way they really punish you is called slippage. So slippage is they take a percentage of the money you put in and already deduct it, lose it. So you need to be the pro. And how does the pro do the trading? It is through limit orders. They put in an order and they're telling the market, this is where I want to enter. This is where I want to, and if it doesn't fill me at that entry point, I'm okay with it because it will tell the market, this is the price point that I really want. Again, stop limit, guys. You have got to put in your risk management and you've got to keep it there. Do not market and exit. Again, you will lose slippage and you show the market that you really don't know what you're doing. All right, technical analysis. So what is technical analysis? It is literally what the market is telling you. Okay. I keep on saying that if you understand technical analysis, you do not need anything else. And the best part about technical analysis is that the majority of it is free. As long as you have good charting software, it's all free. So let's talk about it. The most important part of technical analysis is recognizing areas. Okay. Resistance and support areas. Areas are the most important thing. So what is a resistance area? It is when the market is going up and all of a sudden starts to hit a ceiling and it hits it over and over and over again. So we draw in where that ceiling is and we stay away. That is the resistance area. Support area, market going down, boom, it keeps on hitting over and over and over again, a floor. It is the floor of the market, the support area. All right. My personal favorite technical analysis of reversal patterns. I love reversal patterns. This is double tops, triple tops, double bottoms, triple bottoms, head and shoulders. This is an indication that the market is coming to a stop. It is losing its strength and it is a very high indication that it will reverse, right? But my absolute favorite on top of that is also divergence. So divergence is a really good indicator in telling you when the market is truly slowing down because we only want to be in a strong market, right? So for instance, here's a perfect example. My price action is moving up, but my indicator below, which I personally use the MACDs, is showing that it's going down. That does not mean that it's about to go down. What it is telling me is that the market is truly slowing down and I need to stay out and wait until it gives me confirmation for strength. Okay. So let's put all of this together because the most important thing of all is figuring out about the trades, right? So the most valid trade out there and the most powerful trade out there is the breakout trade, right? We all have heard of the breakout trade. We know that it's a really important trade, but if you don't recognize what's happening, you're going to miss it, right? That means you're not having the proper software. You might not be having your areas in place. So the technical analysis. So once you have all of that worked out, that's when you are able to make really strong decisions and be profitable, right? And you want to focus on that one particular market to help you master it as well. All right. So the breakout trade is one of my favorites because it is when the market is going flat and all of a sudden it breaks out and all my indicators are showing strength and it goes back to where I put in my limit order and take my trade. And the greatest part of it all It is not complicated. It is not complicated. With a little bit of technical analysis, understanding, you could do this easily. Okay. Understanding all of that. So here's the thing, guys. We have everything that we need to take action, right? Everything that we need to take action is right here in front of us. We have these amazing presentations, listening to all these experts, YouTubes. There's so many people on YouTube, right? All these different gurus. There's some amazing books. There are podcasts. There are live conventions. But the point, the bottom line is, how do you know you are doing it right? How do you know that you are doing it right? Who's there to help you understand that you are making the right decision, right? That is a big question. And all of this is great. The real question that people are constantly asking me is, how do I really, really get started? And this is not from beginners only. A lot of seasoned traders who have been trading for years but are not consistent and are still losing money, they ask me, how can I turn this around? How can I become profitable consistently? And honestly, it boils down to lacking the basics. That's all it is. It's lacking the basics. And it's not because we're lacking them, it's because a lot of times we simply weren't taught them, or we feel that we don't really need to go back to the basics. But for everything, once you go back to the basics, that is the best thing you could possibly do for yourself. Like getting into the car, right? If you don't have the basic knowledge of where's the steering wheel, where's the clutch, where's the brakes, where's the gears, all of these things, how are you going to move the car forward, right? It's impossible. So those are the basics of driving, right? So it's the same exact thing for trading. You need to have the basics. So I want you to just completely get super creative and imagine. I know this is going to be a little bit far-fetched, but imagine you're in your car and somebody gets into the car that has never been in a car. And you tell them, okay, it's time to buckle up because it's going to save your life before we go. And this person who's never been in the car, has never been taught what a seatbelt is told to buckle up. They're not even sure what they need to buckle up, but it's going to save their life, right? They're going to freak out because why? They don't know what they're looking for. They don't understand what's going on because nobody taught them. And it's the same thing for us, right? With understanding the basics. And this was my own sad truth. I spent over $20,000 on my trainings, literally more than that probably. And I was still struggling. Why? Because I was sitting in all these different chat rooms. I had all these different academies that I was in, but I was never taught the basics. Nobody, every time I was asking, can you please explain what is a reversal pattern? Can you please explain to me what is the price action? What is divergence? I would either have been totally ignored, or I was treated as if though I was born with this information, right? But we're not. We're not. That's the beauty of it, is that we can totally understand that. And because I always felt like I didn't know the basics, or I did not have the basics, I ended up losing almost $4,000 within 5 minutes. And guess what? After 2 years of struggling, losing, not understanding, feeling like I just did not get it, and then this massive loss came, I ended up quitting. I actually literally walked away. I walked away. I felt completely defeated. I walked away, and guess what happens? Guess what happens? And what is happening to all of us here is that we can never stay away. Why? Because of two reasons. First of all, we are all bit by the trading bug, right? Like we just have it in us. We cannot stay away. And it never stops itching. But here's the main thing of why it doesn't stop itching. And this is exactly what happened to me when I quit, is that I was watching others, because still, even though I quit, I walked away from my own charts, I was watching others, and deep down inside, I knew that if they could do this, I can do this. And that's when I came back. I came back and I decided to get back to the basics. So, like I mentioned earlier, I had 3 monitors going on. I literally took 2 away. I donated them to my garbage man pretty much. I put 2 brand new, well, they were like a year old, high definition monitors outside, garbage. I did not want to see them anymore. I removed all of my indicators. I had over 10 indicators. I was constantly in analysis paralysis. I removed all of them and was watching the bare naked price until I started to put in one at a time indicator to see which one worked for me. And that's when I got back to the basics. And I really, really devoted myself to that. And then several years ago, one of my students says to me, you know, Marina, your whole teaching philosophy is very similar to Coach John Wooden. And I did not know who Coach John Wooden was. I never even heard of the guy. So, of course, I looked him up online, and this man was a legendary, legendary basketball coach. And his entire philosophy was when in doubt, get back to the basics. And I'm talking about this guy has taken his teams to 88 national championships that they had won, 10 NCAAs that they had won. He literally, his team were all A-star list, whatever you want to call them. They were the top of the top basketball players. However, every season, no matter how many accolades, how many awards, how many times they have won, he would go back to the basics. Why? Because if you don't know the basics, if you are not fully aware of the basics, you're not going to do well, or you forget, or your ego tells you you don't need to go there, right? So every season he would begin with how to tie your shoe, how to roll up your sock, how to dribble the ball. So why was this important? Because it doesn't matter how many games you have won, but if you're on that court, you're dribbling the ball, and all of a sudden you forgot to tie your shoelace properly, your shoe could get loose, boom, you sprain your ankle, you are out for the rest of the season. Okay, getting back to the basics is the most important thing. And today I have a very special offer for everybody here today. Special offer for you guys only. My introductory course, Bootcamp for Day Trading. You could do this on absolutely any apparatus, laptop, desktop, phones, tablets, you name it. This takes you back to the basics, but also truly gives you all those aha moments. So for you guys only, literally only for people that are participating live, nobody else, I am offering this for $97 one-time fee. One-time fee, $97. So I want you guys to go here, bootcampfordaytrading.com. I did notice that if you are in Chrome, in the Chrome browser, you'll need to go in and remove the S from the HTTPS because, I don't know, Google did some sort of an update, and with that, it doesn't open. So please put in HTTP bootcampfordaytrading.com. And I want you to open it up right now. So take the few seconds, go and open it up. Remember, remove the S if it's not working for you from the HTTPS to keep it at HTTP, to remove it from there so you can go and follow along with me. So $97. What can you get for $97 today with the same return on investment? You guys want to go play golf? Guess what? There is absolutely nothing cheaper than like $100 and maybe $49 per person, if not more, depending on the golf course. And I'm talking like the cheapest golf courses, right? You cannot for even one person anymore. You want to take your friends and family out to lunch? Guess what? No way. It's not possible, right? Because today I've noticed that if me and my husband want to go out for a lunch just like that on our own, it's usually a little bit more than $100 with just one glass of wine. So let me break this down for you guys. Again, bootcampfordaytrading.com. What do you get in this course? First of all, you're going to get a simplifying day trading package. And I know that a lot of people get really stressed about the platform. So I have included a platform in the tutorial. I mean, a tutorial in the course for how to set up your platform so that this way you don't have to worry about how to set it up. You guys could just jump in and start trading. And I know that that could be a massive obstacle. This way you avoid it and you get to start doing the fun stuff. Then we are going to be talking about market anatomy and dissection of the trends and the movements, dissecting the markets, right? We're going to do an uptrend, downward trend, and really focus on that sideways trend. So we are going to really dissect it And we are really going to dive into understanding reversals and spotting divergences, because that to me is my holy grail, and it has completely revolutionized my trading 100%. Because once you understand where you could see these reversal patterns, then you know when there's a high probability for reversals, when there is a high probability for the market to slow down so that you do not put your money in. And we will be talking about support and resistance areas. And I'm going to talk about divergences because this has stopped me entering so many bad trades. And once I don't have divergence and I understand, that is when I am making the biggest profits, when I am recognizing when there is no divergence. But if you don't know what to look for, how are you going to be able to spot it? So we really break that down. And once you understand that and get the areas, we will be talking and really focusing on mastering the power of the breakout, because spotting the breakouts, that's golden. And a lot of times there could be a fake out breakout. So we're going to learn how to avoid the fake out breakouts as well. All right, guys, because once we could avoid the fake out breakouts, it's amazing. And you will have unlimited access to the curriculum. Unlimited. You will have complete access with all the time. All right. All of this is valued at $1,600. What do you guys get? You'll get this entire framework. This value is $1,600, but don't take my word for it. Okay. I've got students from all over the world. Here's what some of them have to say. Michelle, best money I'd ever spent. This boot camp is incredible. Derek, you're the only mentor that truly, truly checks the work. Adrian, I am enjoying your boot camp. I am learning every single day. Now, I want to go back to the question that I asked you before. How do you know you are doing it right? How do you know you are doing it right? Who is there to be able to help you, for you to be accountable for? So I have something very important to add. Mentorship. I am offering 1 month included in that $97, 1 month unlimited coaching, mentorship, feedback with me. You could ask me any questions you want, as many as you want. We could do Zoom chats, whatever you need. That is included. That alone, to be honest with you, is priceless. I am going to be there right there with you the whole time. So you don't have to worry at all about this at all, right? Included without any extra fee. So having a mentor could truly be what will take you to that next level. All right, guys. And I have the last thing to offer, a special bonus. I also have a live trade chat room, and you will have free entry for the first 30 days where we sit and watch the market together. We implement, we take trades. We are literally with the live market. All right. All of this is valued at $2,600. You guys get it, $97. So I want you guys to go here right now, bootcampfordaytrading.com, bootcampfordaytrading.com. Remember, take out the S so that you can see all that you're getting. All right, here's what you guys are going to be getting. Everything in the course, 30 days one-on-one mentorship with me, and then also being part of the live chat room where we are actually implementing and taking those live trades together. So here's the reality. All this is truly worth less than one trade. I don't know about you guys, but my trades usually are between $200 to $400 per trade. $97, right? So you can literally 10x this, your return on investment, and be able to take out your friends and family for hundreds of these dinners. So here's the thing. Because of my mentorship, I can only take on 25 new students at a time, right? Per month. And this is a full room. It usually gets fully booked up to 25 spots. That's all you guys I could take is 25 people. All right. Now, I want us to all go here. Hang on just 1 second. Let me see if I could share with you. Yeah, here we go. All right. So let's go here. Go into your browser, and we're going to put in Bootcamp for Day Trading. All right. So it will take you here. This is the order form right here. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. Go here right now. And again, remember, it is HTTP right here, HTTP bootcamp for daytrading.com, because otherwise with the S, you might not be able to open it. And this is right here, the order form that you will be checking out. As you can see here, one-time payment, $97. If you really do need a payment plan, I have two, they're $59, but you'll literally enter automatically right away. Okay. So here is everything that we talk about right there. Okay, let me just see here. All right, so like I said before, bootcampfordaytrading.com. Let me know if you guys have any questions whatsoever. And I am happy to respond to anything that you need. Please let me know. If there's any questions at all. Yes, you can, once you get the course, because I know that there's a lot of holidays coming up, but for $97, I offer this course for $297. And to be honest with you, it gets booked out when I do that just online without being even in a live presentation. So $97 is ludicrous. It's 60% off. So what a lot of people do is they buy the offer, and you can start the mentorship with me whenever you are ready. So you could own it for a month, 3 months, whatever, and then say, hey, I am now ready to be mentored. Absolutely. This include option trading details. So this course is great for any market, because we will be focusing on the charts, how to work with the charts, understanding what is going on, and it is useful and has been used for absolutely all those markets. So yes, absolutely. All right, let me know if there's any other questions. Okay, never took it. Yeah, absolutely. Please write to me and I am happy to send you the information 100%, because it is for lifetime. Absolutely. And anybody else, again, you guys will have lifetime access, and you let me know when you are ready for the mentoring. Okay. Is there any other questions? Please let me know. Thank you so much, Ricky. And thank you everybody for being here and taking your time out. I really, really, really appreciate it. And you know what? Right now, the internet guys just arrived and fixed my internet. So for next time, I will have better internet. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, David, Anka. Thanks so much for having me, guys.